Imagine that. The Inquisitor General with her very own torture chamber. In the undercellars of the Lady Don't Care, perhaps. It'd be perfect. Nobody could hear her guests screaming with all the noise from the nearby Beast Bowl. A depressing, dark chamber just full of all sorts of pain-inducing devices, like vices, thumbscrews, a rack, or even an Iron Maiden. Guests could wait to be granted an audience with the Inquisitor General, while dangling from wall-mounted shackles, and a cage for them to rest in between sessions, plus a fireplace. Not for warmth or cooking, of course, but for heated discussions with a hot poker. Who would be her first guest? Dannen. It would have to be Dannen. So he could confess that he doesn't love Sharwyn and intends to leave her. And he'd have to put it in writing, of course, and sign it. So Little Red could read it and believe it and leave him and never look back. He's probably so weak-willed just bringing him into the torture chamber itself might be enough. Seeing all the equipment at the disposal of the Inquisitor General. Alright, here's the prison logbook. I guess these are some of the more interesting entries. We guards are beginning to question Captain Elephant's sanity. He hasn't been out of sorts, or he has been out of sorts ever since he went to visit with his cousin, Lady Tanglebrook. So sure enough, her instincts were right about how the events transpired, I guess, in the Tanglebrook tunnels. The prisoners grow restless. Someone has unlocked the prisoners and cursed Captain Elephant is nowhere to be found. We've had prison breaks before, but this is serious. I don't know if we'll be able to keep it under control. And I guess this last entry is by a prisoner. Heh. This your pretty book, guards. Whoever reads this, we prisoners killed half your stupid guards and locked the rest away be where they belong. Long live the head gaoler, and may the whaling get the rest of you. Nice of him to put the logbook back on the shelf. Hostages with no demands. Perhaps the guards are being kept for another purpose. Otherwise, she has no interest in opening cells, but storerooms certainly. Dannen hasn't confessed. First, she tried to get her point across with large needles. 3 or 4 of them should do, picking places that would maximize pain yet minimize injury. Each needle would only deal 1 point of damage, actually. Holy cow. Alright. Here's an escaped prisoner coming right out of the door. Wondering if, well, you know what? I think Bones is going to pull the door shut. Not sure how he does that. Maybe we'll trap this one prisoner in the hall. What happened? The door closed? No, it's still open. Okay. Though if there were others, they're probably alerted. Sounds like something's going on. Really didn't want to start anything until everybody was in the hallway, at least. I'd be surprised if they start coming through the door. Alright. Yeah, they're all waiting right here. Donis the thug. Alright. Oh, look at that main door. Of course, Lilly had made a promise to emasculate the doorman. Don't know who that is. Wonder if that's this guy. Probably is. I don't think... Yeah, Bones can't reach him anyway. Alright. I think this warrants want to sleep. Hopefully... I'll put Daelan to sleep. There's Dannen. Okay. Well, if it was the doorman, he met his end anyway. But look at this place. There's doors everywhere. Look at this gang leader. Casting looked like a negative energy ray. Magic missile. Oh, just went invisible. She has dispel magic, but don't want to use it. Yeah, just for the gang leader.
All right, crew. Let's take them down.
All right. The doorman. No panther between the legs, but a half-orc's double axe between the ears. Dannen still hasn't confessed that he hates Little Red, forcing the Inquisitor General to warm things up a bit. She'd have more logs thrown onto the fireplace, really heat things up, make him sweat, then wait till they're reduced to burning coals, so she can heat up the iron poker, nicknamed the Rod of Inquiry, as it usually accompanies probing questions. If he professes his love for the Blacklake bard, she can brand him a liar. For 1d3 points of damage, actually. At least until her lead has finished melting. What a shame if she were to spill any of it. A drip here, a drip there, right onto those most delicate of areas. Such a delicate procedure. Careful, lest she tip the whole thing. Also for 1d3 points of damage, actually. A floor lever for cells along the south wing, of which Lilly is uninterested. The Inquisitor General hasn't forgotten about Dannen. Next, she'd have to tighten her grip, or rather, the thumb screws. A small wooden metal device, much like a vice, to put pressure on thumbs or fingers. If one gets damaged, it's okay. He has 10 of them. There's plenty to work with. And if need be, she could even improvise with the toes. For 1d2 points of damage, actually. Alright, sure enough, there's prisoners inside. I guess this room as well. Thought I heard the door open. Well, not sure if that's where the gang leader came from before. You know what? Want to sleep? Oh boy. We got one of them. Alright. Let everyone else just file into the room. Here he is. Alright. Magic missile. remember how Lilly likes daggers? Here's yet another reason why. Its versatility and usefulness even extends into the torture chamber. Alongside such tools as scalpels and flensers, Dannen had best watch his fingers. For 2d4 points of damage, actually. And a floor lever for cells along the north wing. Apparently, Dannen still doesn't want to talk. In which case, she'd have to break out the Jawbreaker. A wood and metal device, almost like a reverse thumbscrew, but for the mouth. Open wide. Surely a singer can open wider than that. Even wider. Wider. With each turn of the wheel, two opposing plates would force his mouth wider and wider apart, until they came to a break in the conversation, of course. It'd be such a shame to ruin that handsome smile. For 2d4 points of damage, actually, and the device itself is relatively inexpensive at about 10 gold. And of course, she'd claim that the Jawbreaker is simply so she can fit another tool in there. The Tongue Terror. But sadly, her torture chamber lacks for the grisly tongues. And it doesn't matter that the Jawbreaker prevents the piping pauper from speaking coherently. She only needs him to write, or rather apply his signature. Just his mark would be sufficient. Hopefully the Inquisitor General was careful enough to leave him with a few operable digits for the task. Alright, this prisoner's in this room as well. Well, I kind of want to reserve some of these sleeps. I think I was throwing the ranged weapon. Magic missile.
All right, crew. Let's take them down.
All right, they're finally getting on the board. Yeah, looks like he's wielding a sling. Negative energy.